Are you ready for a cheap, easy, flavorful take on a ramen noodle bowl? Then you're in the right place, so come on into my kitchen.
Alright, so I got inspired by seeing a YouTube video, and I was like, I got a lot of the things in that recipe in my house, probably, and it turns out I don't really have any of those recipe ingredients, but it's fine. Totally fine. I've got frozen peas, frozen spinach, frozen cauliflower, frozen broccoli. Those are my veggies. We're using stuff up. It's cool. I do have a can of coconut milk. We're probably not going to use the whole thing. We're going to use that. We got curry powder. We got better than bouillon. We've got my green pesto inspired carrot top pesto. We got ramen noodles. This video used some sort of a pesto, a regular pesto that had, it was like a spicy red pepper pesto or something. I don't know. I can't handle a spice. It's fine. We're gonna make this into something. I can feel it. It's gonna be good. Oh, and we'll probably add cilantro because I got that too. I forgot to take it out. Alright, so I'm just going to put these frozen veggies into this boiling water I have. Let's see if I can pour these in without splashing myself. Okay, I think we did it. And I'm just going to let them boil, cook, whatever, for just a few minutes here. And then what I'm going to do, I'll move you guys back so you can see. I'm going to pour the water that the veggies are in into this bowl. The veggies will be in here. I'll hang out with those veggies for a hot sec. Pour this hot water back in, and I'll make broth out of it. Saves a little water, but also it makes everything go faster because the water's already hot. And I'm kind of making this up as I go along, so, you know, we'll see. And it's okay if a little stuff got through. No big deal. I do want to get as much of this veg out of the pot as I can. Not a huge deal, but, you know, it's a thing. Alright, good enough. Then this metal bowl is going to be hot with the hot liquid in it, but we're going to pour that back. The burner is off. I'll turn it back on now. I'm going to get that water boiling again. Ooh, we're going to use up the last little bit. The scrapings of this better than bouillon. That's good. It's good to use every last little bit. That way we have a little broth. Cool. And what I did is I just put a little water in here, shook it really hard, scraped the sides down. Got the last little bit. Oh yeah. That broth is looking nice now. Love that. Alright. It's a good jar too. Alright, so this is the trickiest part. I'm going to turn the heat down on this. We're going to add some of this coconut milk. This does not have the hard cream on the top, this brand. Maybe it's too hot in my house. I'm sure it'll be fine. I am trying to scrape some of that nice piece off the top. And I'm dripping it everywhere. That's okay. Sometimes you make a little bit of a mess when you're cooking. I got the pot cockeyed and I'm like, it's hot. Fire is hot, people. Alright, that's about half. Although, it's possible I got more of it on my countertop than I did anywhere else, but whatever, it's fine. We're gonna let that heat up a little bit. Alright, and instead of using oil in my pan, I'm going to put some of this in here. Just a little bit of the wonderful liquid. That'll be enough for now. I'm gonna let that get a little warm. There we go. Don't worry, I still have my veggies here hanging out. I'll move them out of the screen so it's not so obtrusive. Alright, I'm going to add the veggies into this. The spinach was I maybe should have put that directly into the broth, but whatever. It'll all work out. Out of all the things to stress about in life, that's not real high on my list. All right, let's add some of this pesto. I don't know. That seems like a good amount. I will link below the recipe. I just put out a video on how I made this. Let's break up that pesto. It was kind of cold. I brought it out and tried to bring it to room temperature so that it would kind of like melt into this broth a little easier, but I didn't do it quite long enough. But again, I'm not worried about that. Alright, now the other thing I want to add is some curry powder. I'm going to take the lid off. I'm going to add some. And I have no idea how much I should be adding to this. Maybe a teaspoon? I like curry, so that's good news. That might be a lot, but there's only one way to find out. Let's turn the heat down a little bit on that. Yes. It's looking nice and golden. I am going to add to the veggies a little bit of soy sauce, because that sounds good to me. I also think that this needs a little more of the pesto. I wanted it just a little greener. I know, aesthetics. And I'm just going to continue to saute these a little bit more. Let's do a quick taste. Oh, wow. Wow. All right, this is going real well. If I were cooking this for somebody else, I would use a different spoon, but you know, this is me here, people. I want some of this broth. All right, Anitra, get something bigger. Ah, here we go. This will be good. Yes. And at some point, I need to replace this pan. It's getting a little, whatever. I just think I'm going to need to replace it soon. So if you have recommendations for a good like 10 or 12 ounce kind of skillet that you like, that would be awesome. If I could take it into the oven, that would be even better. So maybe I'm looking at cast iron or stainless steel. But anyway, if you have recommendations, I'd love it. All right, you know what needs to come next? Yeah, let's put some noodles in this thing. All right. I'm gonna put a packet of these bad boys in there. Boom. And so it tells me, how long do I cook this thing for? 5 minutes. I'm gonna set a timer because I am not good. I'm also gonna turn the heat off my sauteed vegetables because I don't want burnt vegetables. I like sauteed, even a little golden is cool, but not into burnt. If you are, then you can leave the heat on. You know, you get to cook how you want. All right, and I got some cilantro here. And I am gonna take some of it. Look, make sure that it looks good. It's a mess down at the bottom. That's fine. Whatever. We can fix it. No big deal. Nice. All right. I always just cut the very bottoms off, and I put them in my compost. And then I usually just like cut them in the middle. Let's see, this one looks a little funky. Maybe that'll go in the compost too. That's fine. All right, these ones I'm gonna leave for garnish. The ones that are more like the bottoms, I'm actually going to, yeah, it's got a little brown spot. All right, I'm gonna cut that also and just mix them in. It'll be wonderful. You could make them finer. Some people are not big on the stems. I think stems are great. They add so much flavor. If you don't like stems, don't add stems. Again, you get to make decisions when you're cooking, and that's one of the beauties of it, right? Is you decide. So if you've never tried the stems in a dish, then maybe today's the day. Yes. Come on, baby. This smells incredible, you guys, incredible. All right, I actually left the noodles on for the 7 minutes. It says 5 to 7. I do 5, and then I, you know, test it out, see how it goes. I'm like the queen of pouring stuff into bowls and then having it spill up the other side, so we're gonna try to avoid that. I did realize there was no way I was gonna use a regular bowl. My bowls just are not big enough. And they're like, I mean, they're good for cereal and other soups, but for this, I just didn't seem right. So we'll eat out of the fancy small soup tureen. That seems legit. All right, let's get some water in this thing. All right. And then we are going to put some veggies on top. You might be saying, Anitra, that's a really large portion. Yeah. I'm okay with that. You know, you do you. Maybe this is 2 portions. maybe this is one portion, maybe this is like 2 portions, but you want to have some other stuff with it, or you add more veggies, or you know, your kitchen, your rules, right? I am not a nutritionist. I'm just somebody that likes to eat and cook food and share ideas, and try to fuel my body to do what I'd like to do in my recreational time, if that's like working out or hiking or whatever, being able to like do active stuff at home. Anyway, I'm gonna garnish it with some fresh cilantro. Doesn't that look pretty? All right, so there we have it. There's noodles under there. There's this kind of curry broth. We got our veggies. I laid them on top. We've got our beautiful garnish of cilantro. If you like a little spice, you could have added like red pepper flakes to this. You could, of course, always add some sriracha. If I think it needs a little spice, or like partway through I want some spice, I can add just a little squirt of that. Of course, if you like more spice than I do, I'm a spiced wimp, then you can add more spice.
So this was an awesome experiment that turned out so flavorful. Such a great way to use up other things that I had in my kitchen and just happen to have around. And I'm so glad that I was watching YouTube to find the inspiration video, which I did link in the description below, and that I was able to experiment and come up with something that was amazing. So if you like this video, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about it, share it anywhere. If you want to see the original ramen noodle bowl video that I did, I will also link that below and put this in a playlist. All right, thanks so much, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.